Hey guys, Ron here, and today I asked my dear friends LoreKeeperToby, Lockstin, Vergolophus, and Pragmagik to create fun little slideshows on a niche Pokemon topic that they are passionate about. I told them to use it as an opportunity to speak about some silly Pokemon-related opinion they have, and to simply make it fun or interesting. I made one too, obviously. If you're new, I do a ton of big collabs like this, so please leave a like if you want to see more, subscribe to know when stuff like this comes out, and consider becoming a patron or YouTube member so that we can afford to do experimental stuff like this more often. We're beginning with Pragmagik.
Hello, that's me.
Okay.
Make us laugh, or cry, or
all of the above. Here you go.
I would love to cry. If I cry today, that would be nice.
Me too, I need that.
All right, everybody. So I have one question for you. What is life? Whoa, Brandon. Weird way to start. That's kind of a heavy question. You know what else is heavy? Rocks. So I have another question for you guys. What is rock? It's a hard thing, comes from the earth. Probably was lava at some point. Not edible despite my best efforts. And rock candy is for cowards.
How dare you?
It does not count.
Hey. I'm trying my best out here to make rocks edible, and rock candy is not helping. Here's what Pokemon says rocks are. No, so now that we've established that... Wait a second. Did you see that? There's something up with that rock slide. This guy right here. He's not a rock type. This is Wormadam, Sandy Cloak form. It's a bug and a ground type. But wait, if it's a ground type, why doesn't it have those big old rocks on its shoulder? That doesn't make any. Why the rock and ground type should have been combined. A presentation by Dr. Pragmagik Johnson III, PhD, DDR3, ICUP.
Okay, we have to take notes. There's a quiz.
Yeah, you gotta take notes.
Quiz after.
Yeah, there's gonna be a quiz after this. So point 1, Steelix here. Steelix is a steel ground type, which replaces the primary rock typing of Onix, which, even though they have the exact same body structure, and to add insult to injury, when Steelix Mega evolves, it grows crystals,
That was neat.
which, as we've established, is a rock thing.
True.
True facts.
Crystal Onyx.
Yeah, we have some more egregious egregious, or should I say, egregious examples. We have Runerigas here, which is a big old slab of runestone. Yep, that's a ground type. Then we have Camberupt, who has these rocky boulders and rocky plumes coming out of its back. Yep, that's a ground type, and when it mega evolves, it gets magmatic rocks, and that's a ground type as well. And then there's Torterra with literal stones coming out of its shell that are the same color as its rocky toes and head spikes, but you get the point. But it also goes both ways. So here we have Claydol, right? Claydol is a ground psychic type based on a Dogu, a figurine designed using Jomon pottery techniques. And then we have Shuckle, who is a turtley endolith thing that is also based on pottery, and it's the rock type. You know? We have two different design conflicts going on here. All right, point 2. Game Freak wanted to, but they just forgore. So we have exhibits A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and H. Unfortunately, exhibits I through Z did not respond to my email. But as you can see, 6 of the first ever rock or ground types were both types. So in Gen 1, we had 90 possible unique type combinations. That means there was a 6 of 90 chance for them to be any other type combination. And then Gen 2 didn't make it much better because we gave us an 8 and 119 chance with the addition of Dark and Steel. That's if you round down, that's a 1 in 15, just about a 1 in 15 chance each. So here are some things only slightly less likely to happen. Flipping a coin 4 times and getting 4 heads. Anyone who runs a Zapdos or Celebi EX deck in TCG Pockets knows what I'm talking about.
It's true.
Me trying to make rocks edible again. Ron inviting me back on his channel after this presentation.
It's not happening.
You hitting that like and subscribe button. But I don't know, maybe you can prove me wrong. Point 3, please don't bully me. I know the VGC community will have opinions on this. This is purely from a design and lore standpoint. I'm not a design person. I am a design person. I'm not a VGC person. So what's the solution? We introduce the true Terra type.
Ooh.
And that's it. That's my solution.
The Terra type is
Terra, as in Earth.
Oh, that's
as in
hilarious.
Earth.
That's hilarious.
I did always think that it was weird that they'd separate them that way. Like, it makes kind of sense with some Mon, but it's just a weird distinction that as far as I'm aware, no other turn-based RPG makes.
Which Mons do you feel it makes sense with to have ground and not be rock?
A lot of them. Oh, well, even the sand ones could be rock type.
rock. Well, because there's just sand is just little tiny rocks. You
Yeah.
got sand.
Sandshrew is literally.
That's why
it's
Sandstorm-
literally-
What about mud? I guess mud makes sense for a lot of them.
Mud makes sense, yeah, but even then, it's just like
That's
watery
true.
earth.
Like a swampert doesn't
It's just,
feel like it's a rock
water
type.
rock.
It's weird that a lot of also like in Gen 1, a lot of the rock types are ground types as well. So like they didn't even make a distinction. Like,
Yeah. I was told by a VGC friend that like the important distinction is like one is supposed to be more offensive, one's supposed to be more defensive. But I'm like, you could have done that in one type, I think.
What if ground is liquid rock? Well, I mean, think
This is
about
just
it.
like,
Think
is-
about it. Earthquake, mudslap, but mostly earthquake because it's moving of the earth itself. It's bulldozing. It's impact.
Softer
Ground
rock.
is impact. But it's also like, it's waves. It's with Zygarde's big thing is 1,000 waves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
no,
It's
you're
giving is a
Even
hot dog
actually
sandwich.
even lava.
Everyone
and stuff,
cares.
you know,
This is
Camerupt.
seriously important
Yeah,
stuff.
lava is
Actually, wait, yeah, my cargo is fire rock, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's fire
exactly.
rock type.
Oh,
It's a rocky shell.
no.
But then Heatran is literally made from magma, and it's fire
Steel.
Steel.
Yeah.
Because of the nickel. I guess there really isn't. There's no answer. This really is the
There isn't no
biggest.
I think
discrepancy in Pokemon.
I think it should have been. I'm gonna say I don't think it should change it now by any means. That would cause a ripple that I don't know we would be able to handle.
When I picture a ground type design versus a rock type design, I actually do see a distinction. Like ground types
Yeah.
are like way less armored and more just animals compared to the rock
Soft.
types.
Yeah. Ground is just soft rock, as we've established.
Ground is moving rock.
Yeah.
Yeah, ground is moving rock. I like that. Put that as the quote for the episode.
Well, to be fair, you have ice and water type. I mean, so ground
Yeah.
and rock makes sense now. That I think of it.
Oh,
And
that's
steel,
true. That's
isn't
true.
steel also just like a mineral or something? Like,
Yeah, it's a refined mineral.
so like,
That should have been the metal type. Let's all be honest.
Stop
Oh, what
trying
about
to
bones?
make soft rock conform to your labels. Okay? Soft rock. It's perfectly happy being ground.
Okay, bones. Is
Bones,
bones
yeah.
rock or ground?
it should
Because
maybe
there's
be
Most of them are
Boomerang, but
ground.
there's fossil Pokemon.
Well, isn't like a fossil like an imprint of a bone that existed
In a rock,
millions of years
yeah.
ago?
But then
yeah.
why is Marowak and why is Lucario known Boomerang? Both those are ground type.
Because the
It's fresher bones.
Yes, I think that's it. The only thing I wrote, by the way, is Crystal Onyx is real, and that's literally all that was the note I took. That's what I got.
Oh
I
yeah,
might be a bit obsessed. Oh, what? His one's all pretty.
Yeah, it's true and green.
He did this whole video to show us up.
Yeah,
this is
that's what it
this is
was.
like a random. This is like a thing that I just downloaded. The background. It's not anything.
Yeah.
It's
Oh, look
nothing
at me,
special.
I'm Ron, and I can download things in the background. Ooh, okay, all right.
True Green 7 slideshow. What was I gonna do? I made this video. Did I have something in mind originally? Not really. I just went in blind. I don't know why I even came up with the video. So first, I was thinking about what slideshow I was
Okay.
gonna present. And I was originally going to use this excuse to like showcase and I still am going to use this as an excuse to showcase like various topics whose titles don't work in videos. So like things that I can't do in videos because the titles wouldn't work. So originally, the first video that I've always wanted to do that I can't because the title is stupid is that Univa's bridges prove that Game Freak peaked in Generation 5. So the individual bridges in Univa have their own unique music themes, and I think that's the most effort Game Freak has ever put into something. Each one has a different, like atmosphere. That's why they had to do it. It makes sense. And to refresh your memory, now I'm gonna make you listen to each bridge theme in full.
That's a very Ron thing to do.
Just kidding. We're
Yeah,
not-
we're fast.
feels-
Captive audience.
Oh,
We
okay.
don't have time for that. But yes, I do like imposing my music taste on others, and I would love to do that.
I
but
was
we literally don't have
prepared.
time. I know. I would have
I was
done it, and you
locked
guys
in.
would have been forced to do it, and it would have been amazing. But yeah, any previous region would have had just like one theme for like each bridge, for like all the bridges in the region. But like Unova has a different theme for every bridge, right? Like Galar or like even like Gen 9, if there was a bridge, they wouldn't even have a theme. Like, I mean, there are like multiple bridges in Galar that have like these very nice views, and there's no special music for these bridges or anything. So the point is, since I'm not gonna make you, listen to the themes, what's the point of doing this? That's not gonna be my topic for my, this is not the topic.
Yeah.
Everybody has knocked modern Pokemon. Since that wouldn't be original, instead, how about I talk about how Swish's art style is the best in modern Pokemon? It's just upscaled Sun and Moon, but like the outlines, the vibrant colors, and the actual art direction, I think is just my personal favorite. I think it's the best. And I've talked about it in like podcasts and other people's channels already. So let's talk about something more niche, okay? Vaporeon did nothing wrong. I think it's a perfect Pokemon, but like, you know, that one copy pasta ruined everything, made it weird. But
I love the copy pasta in the background.
Hang on, I'm just going to Google this. I'm not sure what you're talking about.
I had to blur it so much, so you can't even kinda read it.
It's unintelligible.
You know what the worst part about this is?
What's the worst part?
The designer of the designer of Espeon said that like, oh, I gave Espeon hips, and I'm like, why did you say that? Now the world is gonna be doomed forever.
It is funny that out of all the ones, Vaporeon was the one chosen. I mean, I understand based on the copy pasta why, but like, there are more. I'm not even gonna say it.
Don't say
We're
it.
aborting
Stop
this.
that.
We're aborting this.
Stop right there.
No, honestly, that's a slideshow in and of itself,
That's another
which is the
slideshow.
most breedable evolution.
Exactly. But the point is, I mean, I assume we all like Vaporeon, and we're just not allowed to talk about it because of the thing. So let's do something more scientific instead of like something subjective.
Science.
And this is something that like data that my channel has been passively collecting over the since the beginning of the channel, and that's which Pokemon are the best and worst to put in a YouTube thumbnail.
Ooh.
I love this.
This is for the YouTubers out
This
there.
is why I invited you guys. Which, like, name a Pokemon you think would be the number one best in the thumbnail, and why, I guess, if you think.
Eevee
Charizard.
with a weird evolution shadow in the background.
That's not
Yeah, typically Eevee.
I was gonna say Charizard because it's orange, so you get that bright pop of color against whatever background. So you got that color theory going on.
I can tell you for a fact from the beginning, I originally thought it would be like, you know, like something a little sexy, but but like actually,
Vaporeon?
like Lopunny, Mouscarada, Sneasler, the humanoid feminine Pokemon actually consistently do terribly on my channel. That could be something about my audience. Maybe, you know, maybe my audience, they're not furries. I don't know.
They are.
But they're definitely scalies. They're definitely scalies.
Oh, no.
Because Salazzle and Goodra do really well all the time. Even when I combined them, that video did amazingly. Like, there was a sequel to that video with that, like, fusion, basically. That video did not do well because it didn't have a Goodra Salazzle fusion. Yeah, maybe they're just not into the feminine-looking Pokemon. Actually, that's the thing. Like, Lucario does really well in the thumbnail, so maybe my audience just likes, you know, men or something. I think it could be true. They don't like Lopunny, but do they like Gardevoir, for example? I guess that would be the ultimate question. Because
the ultimate waifu.
like back when I started, I would be like, okay, no, Gardevoir is the number one thing in the thumbnail. And the answer is yes. Every single video with a Gardevoir in the thumbnail did really well. Does that mean they do like feminine Pokemon? Actually, no. All of the Gardevoir in my thumbnail are male. Just saying. So, yeah, my audience is pretty gay. The last redeeming, like, you know, if something feminine is in the thumbnail, will they take the bait? Will it be clickbait? Yes, because of cast form. Cast form does well in my thumbnail. Sexy Golbat does not do well. Like,
I met that Texas Golbat.
oh, really?
He's great. Yeah.
I'm sure she's great, but my audience does not care for her in a Golbat suit. I actually, like, in my data, like, I think I have more women than the average, like, Poketuber. I mean, especially in, like, the gaming space, like, that's a big deal. I like it. Do legendaries do well? Yes, actually. They do actually very well. Legendaries in the thumbnail.
Yeah.
Arceus specifically does really well on my channel. Like, both of these videos have, like, 1 million views or more, or something like that. Definitely that one on the left. Arceus does well. Arceus does so well that Arceus's wheel, you just put a wheel on, like, a Pokemon, I put it on, like, Porygon, that video did really well. Lugia specifically does really well. Interestingly, Ho-Oh does not. Whenever I put Ho-Oh in the thumbnail, and Ho-Oh is my personal favorite of the two. I don't know about you guys.
Agree.
I don't know.
I agree.
Oh, wow.
I have a shiny of both of them.
On the fence.
Not all legendaries do well. I mean, Arcanine does not do well. Even, like, pseudo-legendaries, like Garchomp and Dragapult, there's, like, actually a cool mixture of all of these groups that I just said right now here, and they all did not do well in the thumbnail. I don't know why. Maybe there's...
I don't know. I don't think you have Tyranitar on there. Maybe Tyranitar would be, like, more thumbnail worthy.
Keep in mind, all of these are based on data of Pokemon that I've used multiple times. I think I used a Tyranitar like once or something, so I didn't check. I only checked on Pokemon I did multiple times, because then that would be actual science.
Actual science being used quite loosely there.
Do starters do well? Generally, yes, but not these two. Like,
They don't like cats. That's backwards Sprigatito haunts me. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Blaziken's average, let's say. While other starters, they're good too. What's funny is that like water starters, I think consistently do well on my channel in the thumbnail. Yeah, if you put Greninja, even Inteleon, like really, it works. It worked on my channel. I don't know why.
I like Inteleon.
But when I fuse them together, it does not do well. When I fuse the water stars, they don't like them. What about like generally popular Pokemon? As you said in the beginning, Eevee is the best thing in the world for thumbnails.
Yeah.
Literally.
Vindicated. I like this because it bridged back round to Vaporeon, which means we've hit on all, and it's a scaly, not a furry. So you've hit everything.
I know, it's really, you're right. Other popular Pokemon, Gengar, Flygon, Lapras do well on my channel. Some popular Pokemon don't do well. Like, for example, any guesses for like a super popular Pokemon that didn't do well?
Mewtwo? I don't know.
No, legendaries do well. Although there was a
right.
Mewtwo video that didn't do that well. But Mewtwo does average, let's say, on the channel.
I think Ditto is probably quite rubbish.
Ditto's not that popular. I'm talking like actual, like if it was a poll, it would win in its region.
Zoroark. Did Zoroark do well?
That's not a bad guess, honestly, but I don't have multiple videos with Zoroark thumbnails, so we'll never know. The answer is Tinkaton, which is odd.
Interesting.
Right when like Generation 9 came out, I'm like, okay, put Tinkaton in the thumbnail. So many thumbnails I put Tinkaton, every single one did terribly. I don't know why. There was even another one that
that's sad.
changed. I don't understand it. Why do you, again, what do you think? I'm here, I'm asking, like, I want feedback. I need to know why these don't work.
I mean, you know what my answer is. Is a stinky Pokemon.
I'm saving it for the end.
Oh,
Tinkaton is amazing, and that makes me sad. This is sad news for me.
it is sad news.
Oh, I was going to say maybe because people didn't like Gen 9.
That's what I am thinking, honestly.
Yeah.
But honestly, once Gen 9 hit, I was already doing too much like Fakemon content, so like I didn't have a lot of Gen 9 Pokemon and thumbnails. Here are unpopular Pokemon that did not do well. I guess just unpopular Pokemon in general just don't do well. Who would have thought? Klefki and Garbodor specifically, I thought they would do well because they're like very controversial Pokemon. They don't do well, especially together. Like that video, I had to unlist because it did not do well.
Dang.
This is a weird example, actually. This is like in the middle, where it's like, I used the exact same thumbnail, like years difference. Like one was like 2016, one was 2019, I think, right? The exact same thumbnail, both of them did really well. Maybe just this exact like progression. People are very interested in this like Venonat to Butterfree kind of lore. Weirdly enough, Scizor family does not do well. So I even thought
that
like
surprises me.
Maybe I should melt it and like reveal Scyther. And no, that didn't do well either. Yeah, it is very surprising because Scizor is like very good in the thumbnail, very striking, very noticeable, very red.
Yeah.
You know, what's up? Pikachu. Every Pikachu thumbnail did really well.
Yellow.
Wow.
Also,
now-
yellow. Yellow is a good point. Color theory.
Yeah, yellow's the best in thumbnails apparently. Final question: do you know what thumbnail contributed to one of the biggest viral hits on my channel? Literally one of the happiest days of my life, thanks to this following thumbnail. The answer is Pokemon in Pain.
Oh.
Yeah,
I was about to say
Yeah.
Pichu.
I
I
was
was
about
about to say Pichu. That's nuts.
Not saying this is bad in that way, but it's like all those like Spider-Man and Elsa videos.
Yeah.
Like every other one has one of them crying because that's what gets
Yeah.
people clicking.
Crying.
I'm putting crying in on every single one of my Fakemon from now on.
Have you done more crying videos since here?
No.
Dibs.
Then-
I'm calling
Here's
dibs on
new
doing the next
video-
crying video.
New video idea for you guys. Does Pokemon tears bring people back to life?
Wait, Toby, you've not done
Does.
that?
That's a theory. I've not done that theory, so
my
I can do
God.
that. Also,
God.
what
Do it again.
I'm hearing is my next video needs to be like top 10 ways to make Gardevoir cry. Like that's it. Done. Dusted.
Top
Top 10 tearjerker moments of Pokemon.
crying evolutions.
Yeah.
Evolution crying
Yeah,
forms.
You gotta keep ramping it up so it's like the top 10 like most depressing, treacherous, awful things that could happen in a Gardevoir's life. Yeah, it's like really tragic.
I understand. Like whenever I like made this thumbnail, I did feel a little icky, but then I didn't. It was literally the best day of my
But then
life.
it was great.
I was just scrolling. 3 of my top 21 videos have Squirtle or Blastoise at some point.
Yeah, the water starters.
There's
do
water
well.
starters.
Pikachu.
Lucario does stupid well for me.
I'm in charge. I'm the man. I am the dad. And Pokemon has daddy issues. Subtitle, A Lost Opportunity for Greatness by LoreKeeperToby.
I did
That's
not.
me.
Same.
What do you think about this?
That's Norman's sync pair background, isn't it?
You asked me, the thing is you asked me to come up with a presentation on something that, like, I have not made a video about on before, but the thing is, I'm a Pokemon theorist and speculator, so every small granular topic that I can get 2 minutes out of, I've turned into a 25-minute long video. But this is something I've actually left to the wayside because I just can't fit it into a theory. It's actually something I passionately believe. Pokemon have daddy issues. Who is the daddy? Who cares? It is a fundamental question. Actually, it's maybe the first question in Pokemon. You go downstairs, and first of all, we don't know where your mum sleeps, but we don't even know if your dad exists. Ash Ketchum in the anime, no father to be heard of, apart from his mum saying that that Ash's dad had reached Vermilion City in his journey. So we know he's a trainer, but is he a great trainer? Who is he? Is he Giovanni? A lot of people like that idea. Is he the Yo champ in the making guy? I actually once interviewed Veronica Taylor for just at a Comic-Con, and I asked her, like, this is the voice actress for Ash Ketchum, who's Ash's dad? And she was pretty suspicious of Mr. Mime. And I think that makes sense. Who cares?
I was gonna... yeah.
Why do we care? Are you winning, son? It's because I think the groundwork of all of this, we want our dads to be proud of us. That's what we're looking for in life, generally speaking. We're all just looking for dad's approval. And this story, it's actually mythological. It goes back to ancient times, to kind of Cronus overthrowing Uranus, to Star Wars. You've got, Vader and Luke must overcome his father and prove himself better to save his father's soul. Game of Thrones, I'm not going to spoil it, but you all need to be watching it, and it's got some pretty unsavory daddy issues. The family relations, and it's mums as well, it's parents generally, but there's something about the idea of the father, and I think it's because it's literally biblical. The God the Father. Eve, in the story, takes the fruit of the tree of knowledge to become like God. And I think that's kind of what our parents represent. They represent what we're trying to achieve, the goalpost, whether it's an unhealthy parent that we're trying to overcome or a healthy parent that we want to be like. They represent the goalpost in life that we're going to overtake. Oedipus had some stuff to say about parents. We'll leave that out. We don't have enough time for that.
Let's not do
you
that.
can Google
How did we get here?
But, sorry, that was Freudian. So Freud had a lot to say about it. But anyway, doesn't matter. But what about Pokemon? What are we talking about? Well, this is what I'm passionate about, truly. This is my daddy issue with Pokemon. This is Norman. He's a normal man. Except he's not. He's the first canonically known father character in all of Pokemon. Now, when you arrive in the Hoenn region to begin your journey in Ruby and Sapphire, you move in and he is not there. He's left you a clock. He's the master of time. He's left you this clock, but you're told that you need to go on a little mini adventure if you're going to go find your dad. Why isn't dad just waiting for us? He's working hard. He's an important man, a big gym leader. So you go and meet him, and rather than being like, hey, my child, my lovely child, how proud good to see you. Who the hell is this stupid green-haired kid? Who is this kid who comes straight in and steals our father's love, takes his Zigzagoon, and gets rewarded with a 3-stage rare psychic Pokemon that you probably didn't even see in the early routes of Hoenn? I mean, this is why the rivalry starts. This is why we feel Wally is our rival. But, stupid, sickly Wally goes off on his own adventure, and you'll beat him later. You're thinking, I'll take on Dad now. No. He says you're too weak. You've got to go. You've got to learn. You've got to prove yourself. You've got to go on a whole adventure. And his gym isn't nothing.
It's a good
It's
gym.
a normal type gym. Right.
Yeah.
But you've got trainers who are using weird strategies that no other gym in the franchise has. The X attacks and X specials. And you're just being trained to think about Pokemon battling in a different way because of Norman. You've had a whole Pokemon adventure before you even get to battle him. And when you finally do, it's no cakewalk. He's got, in Ruby and Sapphire, not 1, but 2 slacking. Pokemon that have stats comparable to the box art legends Kyogre and Groudon. And you might think it's fine, it's a Pokemon battle, we'll just paralyze, we'll just burn. Nope. He has Facade, which is this incredible move that does incredible stab damage and more damage based on these status conditions. So it's a tough fight, and I think rightfully so. Norman is your dad, and it's amazing to have this really cool halfway goal post. But I think what you really get when you beat Norman is more than just a feeling of yes, my dad's finally proud of me. You get something way more important. Surf. Access to the rest of Hoenn. Hoenn is half land, a third land, 2/3 water, and you get the rest of the map. I know, Ron, you're a fan of this. Traveling across from Marville City and setting foot on the other side of Hoenn, and suddenly it's just like the whole world has opened up.
That's when I became a Pokemon fan.
That is right, and I knew that you would like this for that reason. No HM in any Pokemon game has the impact that Surf does at this point in Hoenn, opening up the rest of the world. He literally gives you the keys to the kingdom. But this is where I think Pokemon had a bit of a lost opportunity, because Norman doesn't follow you after this. He's done his job. He's a proud father, but it just seems a little bit odd to me that he wouldn't see you beat him and think, blimey, that's my child. I need to go and work out how to be better myself.
Well, he's not British, so he wouldn't say blimey.
I was going to say blimey says the most British person in Call.
From his time in Galar. And the thing is, right, here's the deal. Here's the dealio. I think it would make sense that he keeps his eyes on you. And here's the thing, and we're getting a bit fan-fiction-y here, but if you think about the final bosses of the previous games, Blue is your rival. So you're motivated to battle Blue. Red, in Gold and Silver, is literally the protagonist from the previous game. That's why it's an exciting battle. In Emerald, we get Wallace, and I don't get that. Juan is also the 8th gym leader, so you've just had 2 water type. They have the same team effect. It's dumb. But Steven Stone, he's a dreamboat. We get it. We like him as eye candy, but he can be in the Elite Four. He's a cool trainer. Wouldn't it make so much more sense if you enter that champion trainer and there is your dad? He's been keeping his eye on you, and he's impressed with the work with Team Aqua and Magma, and he's got a team of, maybe the other starter, maybe a Gardevoir of his own, maybe, the Ludicolo or Shiftry, they're early route Pokemon that can prove to be incredibly tough, his own Slacking, maybe some Johto Kingpins like Slowking or Tyranitar, Slowking just for a bit of type coverage, and because he is the king, it makes sense to me that Norman is not just a normal man, he's the ultimate threat in Hoenn, and I just think it's a huge issue that they didn't use him, a huge daddy issue. That's my deal.
Yeah, can you go back a few slides? Can you go back to the sibling rivalry? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. For one, sibling rivalry. Next one.
Okay.
Just go for the next one. Go lean proof. go to the next one real quick, just for me, please, real quick.
Wait, the next one as well?
And an adventure compelled. I just had to. Sorry, I had to. If it was 1, I wasn't gonna say anything, but it was 3 for 3, and I had to do it.
My dad couldn't teach me because he's dyslexic too.
And Toby, can you tell us what that green Pokemon is there?
That is a Gulpin.
Gulpin these nuts. What?
Oh!
Dude, you're done. You're done.
You're cooked, bro. Sorry.
Thank you so much for listening to my presentation. If you want to open up now also about your own daddy issues, feel free to.
Well, it's odd. I never thought of you as a person who had daddy issues, so I didn't think that you would have this as your topic.
As the only proper daddy in the call, I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah.
I also have daddy issues as well.
Why you don't think Norman with a full normal team would be epic?
I think
as a champion?
I think a full normal team would be epic. That's my only change is that I think a full.
I definitely thought about that. But then it's who goes on it. So an X-Cloud, maybe a Blissey, some Slacking.
Yeah. Even a Zoomer will make sense. Back then.
Is a Zoom?
Back then.
Oh yeah, I suppose. If Regigigas existed at the time of Ruby and Sapphire, it would actually make the perfect Pokemon for his team. Because it's just bigger Slacking.
Absolutely.
And it's tied to the lore of the region. So it's
Well, let's say Snorlax, Slacking, Regigigas.
Well, a dad did eventually get a Regigigas the next generation over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was gonna say, does Palmer have Regigigas?
Yeah, that's his star
thing?
Pokemon in Masters.
I mean, that's almost like Kukui. That's almost Kukui, but times 10.
Well, that's what I was really thinking. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a father. He's like a father figure to you, but he's not exactly like a dad. But this is your full-on dad.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you my very own presentation. Anyways, my name is Vergolophus. I'm here to show you all my greatest beloved hyperfixation of all time, and I'm going to tell you now why it is stonks, why it is amazing, why it will change you guys' mind and put you on my side. Why Pokemon's International Police storyline is the best story plot the world has ever seen. We are only focusing on the Pokemon games. We're not focusing on the anime. We're not focusing on the manga. In fact, those are the only 3 International Police characters in this entire story. We all know this one, and that's Nanu. He is a retired international police officer, and he lives on Ula Ula Island. He is the next kahuna chosen by Tapabulu himself, the man of the hour, and we will not really talk about him too much.
What?
But this is, as we know, Detective Looker. And of course, he is one of my 2 favorite characters of all time. And my second favorite character of all time, is Annabelle. She is his boss. Not his secretary, not his assistant. Canonically, she has 10 years of international police experience.
Guy.
Anyways, that's my art right there.
It's nice.
Heck
Figure out
yeah.
that's my art. The international police actually gave them the code names. The UB01, UB02. These are international police. These are
makes sense.
from the international police. Symbiont, absorption. Oh no! I made an error! It's supposed to be beauty! Oh!
I forgot the UB name.
Imagine writing words wrong.
We don't talk about that one, but it's UB Glutton. Who knows? We don't know what that one looks like, but...
Kill on sight,
well.
apparently.
Where'd you get these classified material?
This is where I get into headcanon theory. Why were the Beast Balls created? I know that in Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, it was created with the help of the Ultra Recon Squad, but this is my personal headcanon that the whole reason Type Null and Beast Balls exist is because there was a commission with the International Police between the Aether Foundation. Type Null is known as the Beast Killer Project. This thing is supposed to kill Ultra Beasts.
I forgot about that.
Why Pokemon's Faller storyline is the best story plot ever. This has been the thesis all
That's
along,
the
after
redacted.
all.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was always
I
that.
don't see any... Yeah.
What is a faller? Those who come from ultra wormholes. Ultra beasts are Pokemon fallers. You can see that they're caked up with this sort of... They are caked with this... They're covered. They are covered with this
They're caked up with
energy.
Ultra Wormhole.
Oh no, no.
They're ultra caked.
They have either trace or large amounts of ultra energy upon their bodies. It is... I do not know how it gets on them, but it's some sort of radiation from ultra space, from the ultra wormholes, just permanently sticks on the body. These are technically known canonical fallers.
Guzma?
Two.
Oh, yeah, makes sense. Never mind. That makes sense.
Well,
Yeah.
actually. I think we've all recognized these people.
No, you put black stuff over their faces.
I've got a question.
Yeah, how are we supposed to know who they are?
Why? But I was gonna ask, why do they have redacted eyes if their names,
Their
are there?
names are there.
I was thinking about that. I just thought it looked cooler.
Fair enough.
It just looked cooler.
It does look cooler. You're not wrong. Not gonna, it
yeah,
kind of
it
looks
does.
scary with like the children. Like it's like, oh, are they dead? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Annabelle, 10 years prior to the events of Sun and Moon, she was found with no recollection of who she was, save for her name, that she defended a tower, that she was a powerful trainer, and she was from Hoenn. The Tower Tycoon is the central figure of the Battle Frontier.
true.
In fact, she has the highest IVs of all the Battle Frontier, and it's not Brandon. It was never Brandon the leader. She was the leader. Anyways, okay.
This is starting to feel targeted.
And in fact, Aether Foundation is kind of weird. For some reason, you fight a Nihilego or a Symbiont in the middle of the Foundation that just comes from a wormhole from out of nowhere and then disappears. So what I'm thinking is that they were already doing tests even without Cosmog. So
Yeah.
the Aether Foundation has some sort of portal creation device. What is Faller energy? I don't even know. I don't understand what it is. And even like a Quagsire, if it's taken from another dimension, would become an Ultra Beast because Ultra Energy becomes Beast Boost, boosting their stats. The reason Fallers attract Ultra Beasts is because they resemble the same readings as wormholes.
I agree.
I like that.
If you
Yeah.
feel like a doorway to an animal that is scared, that is petrified, that doesn't know what to do, they will go after you thinking that you are the way home. There is a way to prevent amnesia. Basically, as this certain individual has been stated to say, in that space, there were times where my memories would blur together, but I swear I could feel the light of a world and everything would rush back. No, it was more than a feeling. It was like I was being surrounded by a protective presence, warm like the sun and calm like the moon.
Whoa, really? This is
Yeah,
some-
that's what he said.
Wow, that's crazy.
That's what he said. Twice he said that. The cause of amnesia is when you're in ultra space for a long period of time, you are experiencing everything, all realities at once, like psychically.
Wow.
And that starts to make your memories blur together to the point that like nothing makes sense anymore. Is Sutopolis City a crater created by a meteor, or is Sutopolis City a crater from a long dead volcano? Those two realities exist. Emerald and Oras exist, but now they're interconnecting in your memories, and none of them make sense anymore. That's why Annabelle has lost her memories. She doesn't know what's right, what's wrong, and it's all blended together inside of her brain. But there's a way to prevent this. Solgaleo and Lunala, and they're also the freaking cause of all this wormhole nonsense. All this wormhole nonsense is because they want to date, and they want to create cause about babies.
Wow.
And it's because, Solgaleo and Lunala, they travel through dimensions, through ultraspace, to meet each other in places where there's a lot of light, so that their offspring could, be raised in a very nice cradle of light, like a Lola, and would grow into another Solgaleo Lunala to then go back into the wormholes, which are, if you dig a hole on the ground, that hole is going to stay there. So, it's just like reopening a hole that these already made through their power of, I think they make wormholes through their moves. We saw that happen in cutscenes through their special moves.
Wow.
It's like a turtle going back out to sea once it's born, kind of thing.
I want to take this class for every Pokemon topic. Freshened up. There's a lot here.
What's crazy that this could actually be the point of these slideshows is that to make things that we couldn't return to videos, but you can totally turn this into a video.
As let's reinstate our thesis once again. Why Pokemon's Detective Looker storyline is the best story plot ever. I don't think they even knew what they were doing. Anyways, so Agent, wait a minute. Oh, I'm sorry, that's the wrong picture. Agent number 836, codename Looker or codename Handsome. He is the most reoccurring of any human since Gen 4. And no, he's not based on Doctor Who. And if you think listen, listen to me.
He looks like Doctor Who.
Look at this guy who's standing right next to him. Yes, David Tennant is but he looks more like this guy more than David Tennant. It's literally from the 70s, way before David Tennant.
Looks like Doctor Who. Yeah, but he's a time traveler.
He's not a time traveler.
Well, he wasn't a time traveler when they first created him, so
Looker's not a time traveler. He never time traveled once. The Looker's story and the Pokemon story in general is just not in the same order. Everybody kind of thinks and agrees upon that Oras is the beginning of Looker's story. Is he a faller? Is he an Ingo situation? Was it Hoopa? We don't know. All we know is that a swimmer in the battle resort. Well, yeah.
Yeah, nobody suspects Hoopa.
But Hoopa might even be a thing in PLZ. Who knows? We'll get to the point that he has so many connections somehow. That he actually blackmailed Mava. I think the whole backstory of Looker is, if I could piece this together in my own headcanon, is that he was found in the battle resort many years ago, and he was taken by under the wing of the International Police, where he felt like he had something, and he became known as a codename because he has no name. He only has a Krogunk, and he only has he doesn't even have Krogunk anymore. This woman, do you know how many legendaries she has? She has 3 canonical legendaries: Raikou, Entei, and Latios.
more than champion. She's higher than champion level.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She loves her job as international police. She is passionate about what she's doing. She's passionate about her new life, even though she went through the tragedy of amnesia. This sort of respect that they have for each other, even though they're from two different worlds of I suck at Pokemon battles and I'm amazing at Pokemon battles. It's led to a really weird, strange friendship because they generally like to hang around each other, and I'm really surprised about that. So you see, the next slide that I'm gonna get to, why Virgo's shipping fanfiction is the best.
Wait,
what are you doing?
There it is.
I knew it was this.
I thought it was this from the beginning, and then it wasn't becoming it. I'm like, I was scared.
Virgo, I forgot that we have spoken once before, and it was entirely about Pokemon shipping, and it was about this topic.
End. That's it.
Oh my god, that's actually
I realized it.
Damn.
Hello, and welcome to my presentation. Please enjoy these pleasant, generic stock photo backgrounds. I have not changed anything about the slideshow template beyond text and Pokemon.
It's a pleasantation.
I love the lesser-known details in Pokedex entries. You know what I don't love? When some of those details are wrong.
Oh.
Which the colors often are.
Oh.
So many of the middle gen Pokedexes would let you search for Pokemon by color. And while that function is gone in more of the modern games, the data is still there. Used for aesthetic purposes in Pokemon Home and such. So, let's play a quick game.
Yeah.
I'm going to say a Pokemon, and one of you or all of you tell me what color you think it officially is. Not what color it is, what it officially is in the Pokedex.
Yes.
Red Core Minior.
Is it not red in the
Brown.
Pokedex? Because it looks pink, but you're telling me not to say. You're telling me not to say magenta. So I'm
It's red.
okay. Yeah, makes sense. Cool.
Oh.
Oh,
Okay.
how about Blue Core Minior?
Blue.
Blue.
Red.
How about
Purple?
Blue is correct. How about Violet Core?
Purple?
Violet. Purple, yeah.
It is purple. There is no violet in the Pokedex data, but purple, violet, they're pretty interchangeable.
I'm gonna win. This is awesome.
Well, what color is Orange Core?
If it's not orange,
Brown.
Yellow.
Orange, you glad it isn't orange?
Purple?
Purple?
It's not purple. It's not orange. It's red.
It's red.
Granted, these are the only colors that Pokemon can be according to the Pokedex.
Oh,
You got
there's
red,
no
yellow,
orange.
brown, blue, green, purple, pink, black, white, gray. There is no orange. I guess that's fair. Brown is really just dark orange.
he's right. He's right.
Yeah.
It does lead to some weird things, like this is my face when Fennekin is a red fox. Yeah, no.
Ah, yeah.
Fennekin is yellow.
Ah.
It's got
very yellow.
red accents. This is actually a red fox, as you can
Oh,
see.
don't tell me.
It's brown, isn't it? It's brown, isn't it? Yeah, it's
But it's brown. Just like Volcanion.
Well, also
Brown,
brown.
not red. So here are some other brown Pokemon.
Okay, I mean that's.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah,
never mind. Oh, no, nope. You're losing me.
Brownies.
What?
Uh-oh. Warning. There's a warning.
Oh, no.
Four non-brown Pokemon have snuck in. I'll give each of you one guess for which of these Pokemon is not brown. Toby, you go first.
I think that the Sandy Cobra Pokemon, that name I have forgotten, is green.
Silly Cobra.
Yes.
Silicobra.
That is correct.
I think
Yeah, that's correct. Silicobra is green.
I mean,
You
he's
even
a
got
little
the
bit-
color right.
Sweet.
Why
All
is
right,
Aegislash
Virgo.
brown?
Oh. Maybe Aegislash isn't brown.
Maybe it's
Huh?
not. It could be gray.
Virgo, do you have a
Who's it
guess?
for?
Relicanth.
What color do you think Relicanth is?
Red!
Relicanth is correct, but Relicanth is gray.
Yeah.
I mean, he is gray. He is gray.
Okay, alright.
Okay, Prag.
I'm gonna go Vulpix. I'm gonna say red.
Nope. Vulpix
Ah.
is indeed brown. Ron.
If Aegislash is brown, I'm gonna do bad things.
Unfortunately, Aegislash is brown.
I think Garganacl is white. Is white a color on this?
White is a color, but it
I
is
think
not what
Garganacl's
Garganacl
white.
is. Nope.
What?
The
Alright.
other options are Torchic, who is red, and Palmy, who is yellow.
Oh my god.
What?
So now that you know the
Right.
kind of stuff we're dealing with, which Reggie is green?
Oh God! It's Reggie Drago.
No,
It's
that's
That's
a dark
right. It's
type.
Reggie Drago.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
I love winning.
Meanwhile, Quillfish is gray.
I guess.
No, I don't guess.
No,
No,
don't
it's
give
not.
in.
Okay.
Don't give in to them. It's not.
No. Look, if you look, listen. If you just take that tint of that blue and then you put it on like a white background, then it's gray.
No.
Yeah.
If you just stab your eyes and mess up the color nerves.
No,
it's
if
gray.
you combine all the colors that he has, it becomes gray.
Yeah.
It could be like a muddy
This is just
blue.
the white dress again. The black and blue dress, white and gold dress.
I love the stabbing of the eyes joke when you made an Oedipus thing earlier. That's really apt.
I got one thing on the mind.
It's daddy issues.
I'll show you a Pokemon, and all at once you tell me if you think it is officially categorized as black or white. Those are
If
the only...
Zekrom and Reshiram are not black and white,
We'll start with Galarian Zigzagoon.
oh,
White. There's
white.
more
White.
white on the design.
No, but he's a dark type.
Is
Oh,
it
but he's
black
also
with
normal
white
type.
stripes or black or white? With
No. I think it's. I think it's black because the shadow on it shifts it.
Yeah. Well, I'm going black.
Black.
I'm going white.
Ron is
black.
correct. Zigzagoon is white.
Yeah.
Zebstrika time.
Oh.
Oh, it's got to be white, right?
Black.
It has to be.
He looks black.
No.
Yeah.
Correct. Zebstrika is black.
I'm gonna
How
go
about
black.
Pangoro?
If he's not white, he's
fuck.
gray. Then
White.
He's white.
He's got to be white.
He's gonna be white.
Pangoro
Black.
is white.
Yeah. Okay.
Snorlax.
Trick question. It's blue.
No, Snorlax is black.
Oh yeah, he was. He did kind of look black in
He
the early
was.
generations.
He was.
Yeah.
He had a different tone. And then
Yeah,
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
early gens. In the early gens. Yep, Snorlax is black. Emolga.
white.
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 White. Indeed. We're almost done. Here's Double.
Black.
Gray.
White.
White. Black.
Double is white. Yeah.
Oh.
Oh,
And Dialga.
trouble.
What in the? Okay.
Black.
Is it
Did you
black
know-
or is it white?
you know
Blue
Dialga's
doesn't
not-
exist.
Dialga's not native to Sinnoh.
There's no color in time.
I think it's white.
White.
Yeah.
It is white.
No.
So that was fun. So differentiating black, white, and gray, as we've seen, can be tricky sometimes too. For instance, Spoink is black, but Misdreavus is gray, despite Misdreavus being quite a bit darker. And you'd think Marshadow, being a living shadow, would be black too, but nope, it's gray. Yeah, the epitome of darkness, gray. So here's a fun thing. Sometimes Game Freak and related companies realize their mistakes and make changes to a Pokemon's official color in an update or a later game. Like this example. Mega Charizard X was red in X and Y, but as of Sun and Moon, they changed it to black, which makes a lot more sense because there's no red on it unless you count its tiny little eyes. But let's reverse think for a moment. Here are 3 Pokemon and their official colors. What do you think they were before they corrected them?
Oh.
We'll start with Darmanitan, Zen mode specifically.
I'm assuming
anyone
it's
wants to
similar to,
guess.
the Charizard, where it's the other form color. So yeah, maybe it was red.
Yeah.
He was right, yeah.
Yeah.
That is correct.
Gray.
Not gray. Paldean Tauros specifically, all 3 forms.
Maybe
Red.
it was gray.
Wait, what do you mean? Have they corrected? There's only been one game with them in.
And then they patched that game till hell
The
was back.
DLC?
Patches also sometimes update these.
You know when
was-
Cerebi tweets very boring patch notes, it's one of those.
I think it's then I think it was white. Or, no, I think it was brown. Like the Tauros would have been like classic.
It is indeed. It was brown originally. And Ceruledge.
That makes no sense.
think it-
was it blue?
I think it.
Red.
I think
it's
it
gotta be
was
blue.
I think it was red because so much of the Pokemon might be a copy
Charcadet.
paste job from Armourouge.
Armors.
So they,
That's really good thinking. But it was indeed blue at first.
He is
But
he is
that-
blue.
Paldean Wooper was blue originally before they fixed it to brown in a patch kind of thing. And that's basically how it goes for all of them. But what do you think Roaring Moon was?
Oh, it's tough.
It's blue now,
well then.
but what was it before they realized their mistake?
I'm gonna go gray.
I don't
Wait,
think
green.
It was,
Green.
yeah, green.
What leads you to that conclusion?
Because Salamence is a little turquoisey.
It's
Yeah,
just
that's
shiny
what
as
I-
green.
Because
That's what
that
I
is
was
the
thinking.
weirdo twist. It was green.
Yeah.
It doesn't look green to me.
Well, that's the thing.
Or
All
I-
of Gen
I-
3 Pokemon, their color schemes are just different sometimes. Like Metagross.
That is true. An interesting thing that I know about that is a lot of the original sprites for Ruby and Sapphire were a lot brighter and less saturated to make up for the fact that the original Game Boy Advance didn't have a backlight. In conclusion, with all of these other examples, you can see Game Freak cannot be trusted, and we should eat them. Thank you for your participation, and good night.
Wait, golf clap.
Oh yeah, I realized we didn't golf club for Virgo.
I did.
I think I might have been
You
gone.
didn't like it. You didn't like what she did.
I hated it. Yeah, it was.
Now we've learned a lot about Pokemon colors. Next week we'll learn why we don't judge people by them. Okay?
Okay, yeah.
I'm literally judging these Pokemon for their colors.
Not on the internet, sir. Or in private.